Hello, welcome to the stream. This is Somatotani the Riot Wolf. And I am here as MC to introduce your Game Master, Commodore Schlippy.
It's not starting. It's still on the stream starting soon screen.
It's going me now. There we go.
I will commit all of the war crimes if this software does not fix its shit.
Oh, no, wait, it did start. It's just that there was a massive delay. It's going through that entire conversation we just did.
Yeah, most software does that. It's an anti-stream sniping feature in some of them.
In this case, I think it's just because of how slow the software encoding is compared to the hardware encoding.
I haven't even put software encoding on yet. Because it was already on when I was doing my troubleshooting. I can't change.
You know what I mean?
You can't change the settings while you're also streaming, unfortunately.
Well, it'll have to do. I mean, I'm used to there being a bit of a delay, but there was like a 30-second delay on there, but it'll be fine.
Low latency mode is off now.
Wait, what?
Low latency mode is probably off now.
I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Nope, it's
Don't
on.
worry about it.
Oh wow, wow.
I got nothing for that.
But yeah, technical problems aside, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to troubleshooting the everything. I am your ever humble and evil GM, Schlippy, and these Chucklefucks are players in a game that we call Lancer, where they get to play mech pilots and do, well, what do you expect? Gundam, basically. They get to play essentially Gundam. With us today, we have Sukos playing Bandersnatch,
Hello.
Vanguard playing Galric,
Yo.
Soma himself playing Mr. Hildwolf, Mr. Hildwolf, are you with us still?
Yep.
Everwinter playing Lou Chillheart,
Yo.
and our beloved Patrick playing Riley.
Moo.
And yes, we're a bunch of furries, so Riley is actually a cow.
At least in this one, there's a biological reason for it.
I think this is
Yes.
like one of the very few times I'm playing somebody not covered in fur. One of the very few times.
Fur, what
Or
are you...
feathers in your case.
The only
Fur,
time
feathers, and scales.
The only time I've seen you play a character that wasn't some kind of bird is when you play that rat.
Rats.
Hey,
Rats.
I played a cat folk. I played a cat folk for a short skit, 2 short skits that were back to back, but the first one,
Oh yeah,
that
I
one player
remember.
didn't like it and kind of got himself kicked out of the game for that. And the other was, I wasn't too into the character, but it was fun experimenting with the class.
I remember that part of Return of the Rune Lords where you were going through more player characters than some people go through toilet paper.
Look, it's more of my character. It was more that my character got revived a lot more than the GM of that game, of the previous game that we played, because, well, they were the person that was supposed to deal with all the traps. Well, you know how they dealt with the traps? They tried to roll disable device and failed by more than 5 and set the trap off. And so that was how they kept dealing with every single fucking trap in the game, except for like one per chapter I would actually successfully get and not blow myself up. But yeah, no, they killed themselves a number of times until I was like, you know what? Fuck it. This is gonna be the final time. This was an insta-death trap that and I didn't want to get my revive for free, get out of jail card thing. So I was like, I'm gonna make a new character. Fuck this.
And then
I'm done with it.
The goodness of dying all the time is that your party could use your old body as a trap finder.
Look.
How's the saying? So how's the saying go? If you don't find the trap with your skill check, you will find it with your hit points.
Or in your face in Burb's case.
Yes, that's the same thing, Vanguard. But yes, the next character that I made after that alchemist was the trap finding slayer, and they found it with their HP more times than not.
Anyway, my favorite one of those was the half-orc barbarian with 1 level of thief.
The fuck?
I get it.
Krog, good at dealing with traps. Krog's method of dealing with traps. Running, screaming through all the traps like a gauntlet, setting them all off, and using his barbarian hit points to tank the damage.
I mean, good
Not
God.
just barbarian hit points to tank the damage, but, you know,
Ferocity.
one level into rogue gives you a better bonus at it too saves against traps, and then, you know, barbarian also getting a bonus against traps. So yeah, the barbarian, I could imagine it's like, oh, a trap against my save, I'm most likely good. I'll take half that, and I have the HP to spare to set up the rest.
And when asked why he became a thief, he says, Krog wanted to stab people more sneakily.
Makes sense.
I'll give it to him. He knows what he wants.
Trunk memes, everybody.
Yeah, it was the player he's playing in low 19 barbarian. Level 20 doesn't give you much. Like level 19 doesn't even give you much. So it's like I can do an extra couple levels of barbarian, get more barbarian hit points, get more like stuff, and like the only thing there is like rage forever, right? That's the 20th level. Is like you always rage forever. You never get fatigued. You never get tired. That's not terribly useful at that level. So he's like, I can take a level of rogue so that I do extra damage every time I'm flanking.
Yeah, drawn out battles at that level is like hard to do.
By level 20, if you don't have somebody in your party who can cast a spell that can get rid of the fatigue, or if you had a magic item that could do it, or even just a magic item that says, hey, you don't get fatigued after you end raging, at least for a delay.
Even then, like just the sheer number of rounds of rage that you have at that level is so much that it's like, unless the DM is literally putting you through an literally unending gauntlet of fights, there's no need.
Yeah.
You're literally better off taking 2 levels of
You're-
fighter.
Like
Your
you're-
resources at that point in power scaling, fights are going to end in a couple of rounds, in like
Yeah.
1 to 2 rounds, unless
Like-
it's a boss fight. Then it'll last for like 3 to 4,
Yeah, like,
mostly. And it's like you're not going to ever
You're-
run out of
yeah,
resources.
you like even the weakest, even the most poorly built barbarian is going to have something like 16 rounds of rage at a minimum by the time they're that level. And that's if you have like a con penalty. Most barbarians are going to have like almost 30 rounds of rage, and that's without taking stuff like extra rage.
+3, +4 con, I think, is the norm.
That's
Yeah.
without taking extra rage and getting a constitution
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah, so you have 24 rounds of rage. 9 times out of 10, if you have serial encounters, you just don't stop raging. You just don't stop raging through the different encounters.
Oh, another fight? Blood for the
and-
blood god!
Yeah, and if there's any time to rest, like at all, if there's enough time for like you to take a break and use like potions and shit, like there's time for your fatigue to go away. Like
Yeah.
most of the time.
But that's usually before the end boss or something like that.
Like,
And if you end up, and it's like, hey, you end your rage, and then the GM tosses an encounter almost soon after. It's like, well, I'm exhausted. I can't enter rage again, and it's like,
That's
whoa. Well, at this point, you should have potions of restoration, lesser restoration, to get rid of that. It's like, just chug that. It's like, so instead of taking 10 minutes of casting it from a wand scroll or from somebody's spell list,
Yeah.
you take a standard action to chug.
Yeah, no, potions of lesser restoration are the #1 resource for mid-level parties because
Ren.
it removes exhaustion as well as fatigue and exhaustion.
Among other things.
It rejuvenates you as though it also rejuvenates you as though you've had a full night's rest. It does not give you your spell slots back or anything, but it means that if you march 8 hours, like if you march a full day's march, then chug a potion when you get tired, you good for another day's worth of hours of march. It is like, this is the reason that adventuring parties on foot can go faster than most other things at mid levels.
This one fucking item.
Yeah, potions of lesser restoration. Because as long as you have them, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
Like the battery rabbit.
Very fun shenanigans with all those
I-
Pathfinders, and that was a very fun tangent about it.
I learned that from the Pathfinder Kingmaker video game. There's a part in that game where you have to literally force march across an area before a timer runs out, and the only way to do it is to either exhaust your whole party or chug lesser restoration potions. I only had 4 lesser restoration potions, but I also had a cleric who could cast it twice. So what I did was I force marched them, prayed to God I didn't get any random encounters, like ran them until they were just completely exhausted, and when I got to the place, I used the potions because I didn't have time to rest.
Yeah.
Plus, you had a backup cleric that could cast the spell. It's not like you were out of options.
Well, no, that used up like all of her second level spell slots.
Worth it.
Or third level, whatever level the lesser restoration is.
2.
And, yeah.
I suppose my best example of a brute forcing a solution with sheer stupid stubbornness and actually going well, not counting Baldur's Gate 3, with the explosion hallway. Yeah, I just straight up walked through that hallway, and I didn't really
Like a beast.
The closest example of stubborn, just doing things in the most, like, obviously bad way and it turning out, well, is probably the time where, you know the wizard meme of, I don't give a fuck how big the room is, I cast Fireball.
Yeah.
So, it turns out that I was the only person who was still the original person in the group, and
Ouch.
everyone else was a doppelganger.
They were all simulacrums.
And the GM didn't tell anyone.
Wow.
Oh boy, that's a kick in the head. The one time you want to bomb yourself and it turns out good.
I cast Fireball on myself.
I don't care if I don't have the feat. I cast Fireball on myself.
You know what's gonna be very, very funny is when we do continue the
Gatewalkers.
Silky will be capable of doing that and not harm herself. It's like, I'm gonna cast all my AoEs on myself. Like, you're gonna kill yourself. No, because of this particular thing that I got as a sorcerer. I ignore my own AoEs. I exclude myself.
I think you can upgrade it to just include your
You
allies.
could probably actually do what people came here to watch.
Yeah.
Did they come here to watch us be stupid?
I mean, to be fair, this whole group is known to go on tangents.
It was a fun one though, and like almost everybody joined in on it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Anyway, last time on Dragon... No.
Don't even start with that, man.
Last time on How to Mech Ducktape is Your Friend, our intrepid little adventurers, our sweet little mech pilots, found themselves in a three-way war. Well, as it turned out, they sided with the rebels, as you do, and ultimately had to take care of a Horus anomaly that should not have been there. Made friends with one such creature, threw another into an acid lake, and had a somber moment where they'd smashed one's face in. Now, through the combined work of our little... I almost want to call her a tiefling. I keep wanting to call Lou a tiefling, and she's not.
Lou, it like, even though there are no tieflings in this, like, she's pretty close representation of a tiefling, if not a a pride demon.
A pride demon.
Yes, a demon of pride.
Well, either way, through their connections and various things that they know, they have managed to acquire a vessel that will take them, with no questions asked, away from the planet that they've been on, away from this war that they want nothing to do with, and perhaps maybe take them somewhere that they could find better work.
Take it easy, Mikey. Don't fail on punting more kobolds if you run into them.
You can't see him in his oversized Saramatha, but you can tell he's got to be blushing after that embarrassing set of events.
Oh, I wouldn't worry. She's gonna be in good hands.
And let's see here. What was? Oh wait, that's my Mech sheet. What was the other guy's name? Where's my notes?
I don't know where are your notes. You didn't put them on your sheet, did you?
No. I did put them on my sheet.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you deleted it. All my notes are gone.
Well, I think it got overwritten when you sent him the new comp.
Yeah, I thought I told y'all not to include notes in your comp cons, because that has to be updated every time I give y'all a new license level.
Okay, what was Aniko's name? I'll just make it.
The the Neko's name was Krakeno.
How do you spell that again?
Krakino.
K. Wait, what?
I'll type it. I never even thought y'all would actually be using the notes section. I'm sorry.
That.
This is
That's
Everwinter.
on you. I try and make notes so that way I don't forget people's names and things like that. Like I
We'll
knew the
keep them
line.
external next time.
Yes, I know. Now I gotta also keep. Alright, see here. Got. And then now I need to make notes on what was your guys' stuff too. I'll do that later.
Oh,
That's the
Jesus.
easy one.
I'm sorry.
And oh god, at least some of the important stuff was in the DMs between us. Speaking of in the DMs, there was the encrypted data pack.
Yes.
That Lou got and got through a scan and from the Cobalt, and the sprite said to not open that without Riley being there, and was like, yeah, I already sent that as a delayed pack email because of time distortion. Did you get it last week, Riley?
Yes, I got it.
All
So
right.
what is this encrypted data pack? I seem to remember something about it from last session, but I don't know if we actually cracked it that time.
You didn't. You had
Nope.
just completed the overall fight and whatnot.
Mm.
Alright, and
If you'd like to put Omicron on it, they can start, but they can already tell you it's going to take at least 3 days of just continuous running. This is mostly because they need to figure out how to get past some of the paracausal bullshit.
Well,
And let's be honest, Paracausal's annoying.
Riley would be spending some of our time in transit to our next location, upgrading subject Omicron to a, let's see, the next rank up on the NHP,
I believe that's the student class.
the student class NHP, yes.
quick question. So it was which Mikey did piloted what?
God sent me to crush you.
Okay.
Which is basically a melee kit of the Mech I ride. Not that that's a bad thing, this thing is real good.
Indeed it is. Anyway, you managed to get some special connections, as you typically do, and managed to secure yourselves transit. Transit that doesn't ask questions about specific cargo, like a big fucking lich with an NHP still active in it. That is shackled, quote unquote.
It's shackled as far as regulations go by what Riley observed.
Yes, he at least understands, don't step on the squishies.
But yeah, we Lou made a new friend with Sprite.
Yes, Lou did. And thankfully, wait, what the fuck? Where'd that go? Thankfully, it mostly can act like a normal human-piloted machine, and most people don't question it, except when they do.
Don't worry, we won't be dragging you into any fights, Sprite. But, I mean, at least you'll get to take a back seat and watch us. or get to observe and as entertainment. I don't know exactly what you do to pass time.
It's less the fighting I'm more worried about, more so the getting noticed bit.
Oh yeah, no, like we're gonna make sure you don't get noticed. And frankly, best way to not get noticed is to, well, keep you either hidden or, out of a fight.
Speaking of, the group in question that you managed to strike the deal with does have one, they do have one thing that they bring up. Because it is a lich, they kind of want to shove it in a cargo container. Just because, there are people out there who are like, lich, and then they call for the big mechs to come and start stomping it.
Usually the size is 2s and 3s.
Well, I
Wanna
mean,
carry.
if Sprite doesn't mind a shipping container to, when we get, as we're smuggling it off planet.
Oh no, if anything, it kind of fancies the idea of, a shipping container. That will be interesting. I've never been disassembled before, well, come to think of it, I've never... I'd have to think about that for a while. Regardless, he'll agree to let you guys tear it down, essentially.
Yep, just disassemble and we'll put you right back together once we, have a free moment when nobody's asking questions. Or is around to ask questions.
I mean, you won't have to worry about Galrak. He's typing up a report about what went on for the operation.
And that, in there lies that one of his worries.
Galric, you'll exclude, Sprite, right?
Way ahead of you.
Yeah, well, there you go.
If you say so.
Look, whoever he's sending that to will probably be more focused on the fighting that's going to be going down on this planet than, us. Since we're going to be taking our activities to elsewhere that might be, wherever they need a Lancer that, whatever actually comes up with that little mission, whatever fame that brings us.
Indeed. And indeed, all of you do manage to also get your paperwork put in before you get ready to launch. As you come upon a rather unusual vessel, the Matador. At least that's the name it has on the outside. And you see various people coming on and off this ship. Most of them are not your usual fare of space voyagers. And you come to find out pretty quickly, this is essentially a mid-scale blink ship. This is the kind of ship that people use to go in between different places that isn't, the high-speed ships and the big cruises.
Alright.
Also, please tell me you guys can see this page, because if not, I'm going to freeze
I can
the
see
whole
it.
gasket.
Yep, I can see
I
it.
can see it.
So this is essentially a small, vessel that is capable of blink travel under its own power.
Well, no, they call it a blink ship. Really, it's a transport ship that has been outfitted to sustain people for like a month. So, in case you get lost on the way to a blink gate.
Or long voyages in general.
It's a bulk transporter, basically.
Pretty much.
It works for us. We're not leaving our mechs behind.
No, and in fact, You even hear as you start getting on with about 3 other mech people, 3 other large mechs. You hear over a set of speakers in each of the cargo bays back here.
Sorry.
It's alright. You hear the whine of a speaker followed by, "Attention all pilots. Please ensure your mechs are properly restrained. Once we leave gravity, I can't personally guarantee that they're not going to float for about a minute, and any damages to the cargo bay are your problem."
Well, yeah, he's gonna take the extra time to make sure they're strapped in.
Oh, well, you heard that, Sprite? Oh wait, no, we got his parts all strapped down in the cargo.
Yep, Sprite would be completely torn down, and of course that's also broken.
Not a bad idea, considering I'm keeping mine near the parts.
But
Of course this would be broken. Why wouldn't this be broken?
Hey, Domino.
mine's not broke.
Yeah, but remember I fucked up his sheet.
Yeah. Well,
But yes, you can each choose where to put your mechs in which cargo bay. And you notice the doors, while these ones connecting the 2 cargo bays are large enough for mechs to move through, the rest of them are not. Those are very human scale.
what?
Human,
Def-
air quotes.
Definitely seeing some other familiar faces like the fox and
Of course.
Yes. In fact, Red is how you found this particular person that was willing to not ask questions, because he did not want to stick with Rosie's group anymore after this frickin' bullshit with the damn Pegasus mech.
I mean, it's a Pegasus, so you're gonna blame him?
So what you're
Yeah,
telling me
if Red
is
is-
Foxy Floof came with us.
Sort of.
Yeah, that picked it.
And it did fix the mind.
It's at this point that I would like to make a request of the game runner.
I am listening, but I'm not guaranteed to do so.
Can I, as a spacefarer, knowing that we're going into space, just print out and have on hand a couple of spare modules for Polestar?
You essentially, yes, you can. In what capacity? Let me ask that first. What capacity do you want that?
Basically, I want to have the ability to, while on board, swap the Type I flight system for the EVA module and the Pattern A smoke charges.
Hold that thought, because I thought the flight module counted as EVA.
You may
think it
choose to
did.
count any and all of your movement as flying. However, you take size plus 1 heat at the end of any of your fly this way.
Okay, then yeah.
Yeah, the EVA module lets me fly for free as long as I'm in lower 0G or underwater.
Yeah, you get to boost around without it being difficult terrain.
Yeah, and the Type I flight system, I can do the same thing, but I take heat when I do it.
Sure. You had about 2 days while Lou was trying to find this, Lou and Red both, so you can have it printed out. It will count as a reserve for you to have the Type I basically stowed.
Okay, so, okay, yeah, I will go ahead and put those on my mech and stow the Type I flight system.
Okay, then make a note of it, because I'm not going to ask you to update your sheet for that.
Okay, hello, Notepad, my old friend.
Yes. While you do bring your mechs in, they also have, just the occasional trickle of people, regular, civilians, making their way into this elevator unit and, moving into one of the various habitation units, which Speaking of, do you all share a unit if you can, or do you choose to take separate units if you can?
Like units, as in like what? Crew quarters, or where we're storing our mechs?
Where you will be living. Have you ever seen the inside of a Navy berth, essentially?
No.
No.
I'm actually gonna have mine in the other side for weight reasons.
I did want to ask about our pilot's weaponry.
How do I
In what capacity?
Do we leave it inside the mech, or we keep it on our person?
Yeah, they'll tell you that you can keep it in the mech, but if it leaves the cargo bay, it has to be locked up in the secure lockers.
Makes sense.
So
Wait, are you talking about our personal weapons?
Yes, like your signatures and your swords.
Ah, but
Which
Lou doesn't want to part with her sword.
You can stay in
that-
the cargo bay and be fine.
They will actually show you. I have to consult my own chart.
They'll show me what.
fuck do I add systems?
I haven't figured out how to do it for Foundry yet. If you go to 48, they will take you and show you that this is essentially a big fucking vault that they have with them, meant for storing things like jewelry, hard money, and of course, very fancy swords.
I'll just
Oh, I'll bet I know how to do it.
I'll just stay in the cargo bay and
okay.
I'll just stay in the cargo bay and just be with my mech if we can have our weapons out freely there. Cause as nice as that vault is, my hip is a lot more secure than that.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna edit it on CompCon and resend it.
Okay, because you don't have notes.
Yeah, and re-import it. I don't have notes, yeah, so I'm gonna take this.
well-
Yeah, I'm not putting on, new notes if it's just gonna get deleted.
Why did I get zoomed all of a sudden?
Because apparently when you talk with the token, it auto-zooms.
Yeah, it brings it to the person that said something.
Alright, there we go.
Fuck me, I gotta remember where I saved that image.
At least you have images.
There is
But yeah.
import shit. I know there is. Or do I just
Looking-
have to send it to you?
Should be on
You
the
sh-
first screen.
it should be the
So pretty
first
much looking
screen.
like sorry.
It should be the first screen. It says sync.
Pilot.
Yeah, RM4 sync. Load from your CompCon account.
Should have one that you can just upload the JSON.
Isn't the, yeah, that's the bottom option on that page. Yeah, download, upload, import.
Oh my god, and I saw this fucking image just the other day. I was thinking about it.
But yeah, with Lou pretty much like a cat lounging in as a cat would lounge in what looks probably like a very uncomfortable place, would just be, honor mech,
Okay.
just watching everybody.
So, you are gonna have to do this. Color, sorry.
It's alright, just send it to me and I'll get to it in just a minute. Where the fuck did I see that image, damn it? I feel like an idiot now. I should have saved it while I was looking at it. Okay, how best do I explain the birthing? Have you ever seen a triple-decker bunk before?
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that in each of these rooms, marked 14. Imagine that with 2 of them in there, and then like a small shared desk area.
Okay.
So
I
they're
sent
like
you the updated file.
Alright.
So there are like 6 beds to a room.
Yes, there are 6 beds to a room, though it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough people to fill all of them. So they are offering, maybe 2 people to a room or 3 people to a room.
So, you said that they're not allowing weapons in the ship.
No, if you want to keep your weapons on you personally, you're sleeping in the cargo bay, which they will bring out cots for. And in fact, one person looks at Lou kind of like, would you like a cot?
Sure, I would love one.
And Charles is gonna be like, you mean I can't even have my utility knife?
Anything longer than about 10 inches can't stay in the ship, buddy.
Oh!
How big is that utility knife?
It's basically a Bowie knife size.
Then I guess I have to stay in the cargo hold myself, and I just pat my groin.
Oh, very funny.
The guy looks at you, and he's got kind of, he's got a bit of a European look to him, but he just looks at you and smirks. I walk around with a 12 myself. You'll be fine.
Ooh.
Hey,
Nice.
Foxy boy, is he being honest?
The fox just looks over, looks at Riley, looks to the guy who said it again, and is like, fuck if I know, I'm not making him drop his fucking pants. Oh.
Bandersnatch just leaves his knife in his mech. It goes over, pats them both on the shoulder, grabs them both on the shoulders and says, "Hey, on board ship, the last thing you want is a premature discharge. Cool it."
This makes Red laugh his ass off. And the man just shakes his head with a smirk.
God, that was a good one.
God, I'm serious. I feel stupid. I don't remember where I put that damn picture.
That was still a good one, man.
But yes, they will bring you out cots if you really and truly wish to stay in the damn cargo bay for whatever reason.
Yeah, no way. I'm going to stay in the proper Earth. I'm fine. I'm fine without my weapons. I don't need.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. I found the picture I was looking for finally.
I'm gonna be in here an extra while finishing this up.
I need to assign this to a journal so Mr. Soma can show it to his people.
You've been in the pants.
Yes, please, at least for another 5 seconds, keep it in the goddamn pants.
I shall not undo the calamity that is my bombacity.
So,
So where is this thingy that you're telling me to look for?
I'm going to show you in a moment. I'm literally making it on the fly.
so which rooms are the berths? Are they the 14s?
Yeah, all of the 14s are berths.
Okay.
And those are where we
That should have said to y'all.
It did.
Yes, there are 2 of those in each room.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. When Bandersnatch sees what, he's gonna shrug and just say, "Well, beats cargo berth."
Yeah, that's what a lot of the people say.
And he's going to immediately, because he doesn't really give too many shits about where he ends up. Like, if somebody wants to just room with somebody on the same crew, like somebody they already know, he'll go with them. But otherwise, he doesn't really care.
But whatever bunk he ends up in, he is going to start ringing it up with essentially a crash net.
Crash.
Damn.
Yeah, he's basically putting mesh netting. Mesh netting.
Yeah.
You ever seen that one bed that's net blanket and hung between two trees?
Well, he's basically turning the bed into a 0G sleeping area. Not because he expects like the gravity generation to fail, but just out of habit.
Yeah, and you
It's a
can
habit,
tell.
what I'm gonna do.
And if you don't particularly bunk with any of your companions, you will actually see a few of the people that you bunk with do the same damn thing. It's like they expect it, they know it, it's a habit. We might as well just prepare for it.
I mean, why the hell not?
I think it might be. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Riley would say, I think it might be a bit nicer for us to stick together as a team, but with this lot staying down here in the cargo bay, doesn't matter much for me where I end up either. Hey, does this ship have showers on it?
Technically, room 28. I think it's room 28. I haven't looked at this one. Yeah, room 28, washery. It does indeed have some showers, and it has some sit-down bathing areas. It's essentially a Japanese osen kind of setup.
Cool, I don't know what that is.
Public bathing.
Public bathing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like, Charles is going to basically chime in if you ask about showers. He's gonna chime in. Showers, you get 10 minutes once every like however many shipboard hours, probably like once every 24 shipboard hours. You get 10 minutes. I don't know if it's even gonna be warm.
Yeah.
If the water reclamation system holds out again, it'll be nice and hot for you. But yeah, as it turns out, they've done this so many damn times. They just converted what was a storage area into a proper set of unisex bathrooms, essentially, to bathe in.
Nice.
And they even, in fact, room 29 is basically a large set of pools that you can just relax in, what should be warm water, but like they said, sometimes it just don't work.
And like Charles is even gonna say it's like, recirculating water.
Yes,
Well.
we all know it's recycled pee. We've all been on spaceships before. We can be adults about this.
Oh no, this is actually impressive. And he points at the ceiling quarters. See the steam condensers up there? Most of that water would just be lost.
Yeah, closed system. It's only 20 years old. Can you believe that idea?
Seems like it should have been obvious.
Yeah, at least for the long voyages, at least.
Yeah, I blame Union on that one.
Well, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I'm hitting those pools.
Yeah, I gotta finish this up and then I'm going to bed.
You had 2 whole days to do maintenance on your mech. I already installed a bunch of crap on mine, and I had time to update my HP.
Well, excuse me for having to punctuate.
Punctuate? Something tells me
My commander's a stickler for correct punctuation.
Oh, right, writing reports.
It's annoying, to say the least.
God, I can never be a soldier. Too much damn paperwork.
I know,
That's
right?
on my side. That's just on my side of it. I feel bad for the people that have a desk job.
Look, you don't know what it's like to grow up on an agro world, okay? Farming bureaucracy is a whole nother level.
Isn't that just bureaucracy in general?
Well, yeah, but
Sounds boring. Hey, Bandersnatch, tell me more about that racing stuff that you do. That sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, I could use a distraction, honestly.
Oh man, oh boy. You want to know about my longest race?
Oh, that had to be something coming from you.
Go for it.
Ah, it's called the Union Circuit. Oh my god. You know anybody who's ever circumnavigated the entirety of the colonized worlds?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, that's supposed to be really long.
Oh yeah. Some of the contestants are still due to show up, shall we say.
So did you win?
That one I didn't win, but
Was it fun?
technically nobody's won that one yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I see.
When you're dealing with relativistic speeds, the rules for determining winners gets interesting.
Murky is the word
Really?
I'd
How
use.
so?
Well, with the way that with all the different routes a person can take through real space and through blink jumping, how do you decide who's faster? Subjective time? The distance they've traveled? Or how long it takes the rest of the galaxy to realize they've gotten somewhere? It's a big question, ain't it?
Why
Doesn't
not all
sound like it's
three?
planned.
I mean, it's
What?
not like your racing vehicle would be able to, well, record that and upload and say this is what I got from all that.
Well, that's the bitch about relativity, is you can record your distance and your own time, but you don't know how much time is passing while you're traveling for the rest of the galaxy.
It sounds like a pain.
It is a pain.
Well,
You
then-
need a third observer. Actually, you need 3/3 observers, because different planets, moons, stations, and systems are all traveling at different speeds around the galaxy themselves. So the relativism between any given observer isn't the same.
No, it's entirely dependent on the planet.
It
So,
sounds like you would need to end up taking both. Those not racing and those that are racing into account on their point of view.
Yep, and even if you do the 7-point triangulation that it takes to make a space-time measurement like that, that's not always possible considering where some of these races take place and what happens in the systems we end up jumping into. Like wars disrupting the races. People forget, right? Hundreds of years pass and people forget a race was even supposed to come through their system. And
Yeah.
even if that's all accounted for, there's some contestants that might show up in 200 years from that race.
Well, in my book, you finish the race, that makes you a winner.
Especially with BS to worry about like this.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a risk. And there's many MIAs, and there are at least 12 killed from that race. Various circumstances, misjumps, jumping into hot zones, other unknown anomalies. It's a dangerous thing.
I believe you. Considering our job is dangerous, I can only imagine what it is if people forget a race is gonna happen.
Yeah, well, can't exactly blame them when their priorities are things like civil wars.
Mm-hmm. I mean, shit happens, frankly. And this is a soldier, mind you, that's no way able to actually contend with the view that you racers have.
Yeah, you do notice a few people are kind of listening, kind of trying not to look like they're listening, but it's obvious everybody's kind of hanging on your words now.
At least the bottom line is you're having fun.
Anyway, that damn race is why I'm here now. I can't get paid until the determination of who won comes through.
May as well pass the time.
I'm pretty sure I placed at least, well, that could be another 300 years, 500 years. Who knows? The Union could forget about it entirely.
It's the Union. They forget about way too much for my liking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this race did start after the third committee took over, so I'm not too worried about that part. But I did have several races that got invalidated because of that shit.
Wait, hold on. The way you're saying that, you'd have to be hundreds of years old.
He did
Ah,
say
from
that
what-
weird shit happens.
From what I've gathered so far of his bragging about his racing, I think he's even older than
You're a spacer, right?
I mean, I've been around a lot, but how old are you? When were you born?
Kid, I remember when Deimos was on the newsreels.
This immediately causes people to start clamoring and whispering between themselves.
Lou just points nonchalantly. That. I couldn't put my finger on what the name of that was, but you know, I wanted to say Raw without saying Raw, because you know nobody's older than Raw because space-time continuum stuff. He is older than himself.
Granted, I was just out of my mining days at that point, but, well, if you're wondering, you guys normally travel at what, 0.95 inner system? Well,
Hey,
the effects get a lot more extreme the closer you go. Playing chicken with light is not great for your relationships with the world, let's say.
Point not, and they just start clamoring more. You've been that close to one? Oh my god!
Racer Mech.
Uh-huh.
That's my excuse.
The fastest I've ever gone, and that's ever, not in a race, but ever, was I hit 0.999999 for about 3 seconds. Almost 50 minutes passed outside that cockpit.
Lou gives that low whistle. Damn.
They are just deadpanned at this point. They most of them don't have an answer to that. The few that are just wow.
And you're traveling with a group like us.
How the fuck are you alive?
I stopped questioning that after he started talking about his racing.
By all rights, that should have reduced you to protoplasm, but impressive. Perhaps one day you'll make it all the way to Juan.
You also get the feeling that most of these people have never actually done the whole, what is it called? Blind jumping or something like that? Near light. None of them have actually near lighted.
Well, not for long enough for it to matter, I suppose. Usually, like, even just running out to the blink gates and back is some dilation, but it's not nearly to the extreme. But yeah, that was an experiment for Union, trying to develop faster drives and things like that for exploration. But fastest I've ever gone in a race was 0.9876. Got a photo of the readout here, and he just rummages through his flight suit and pulls it out. It's a beat up old junky looking
by modern standards console, and it has the relative C, like relative fraction of C printed right on it.
The fact that you kept it.
The fact it still works.
Oh, that ship that got junked. Oh god, it's been centuries. It was not safe. Racing ain't safe. But she went fast, and she wasn't exactly legal.
How illegal was that ship?
Oh, that's a ship that was built essentially built by from an already fast drive on the orders of essentially a crime lord, and he basically Bandersnatch was hired to pilot it for this crime lord, and he was supposed to take the crime lord with him, and well, it's not Bandersnatch's fault that the crime lord missed the takeoff time.
Hell, got to test pilot the crime lord's new smuggling vessel, and then you're gone for a couple of years. Shit, where'd he go?
That was fun.
You know what I think? I like you.
You still the original copy, or has there been at least one clone?
Kid, I'm sure there's a clone of me somewhere, but none that I've agreed to.
Besides, being super soldiers kind of comes with that.
I'm aware I'm also an original.
All that and still on your first life. Impressive.
Well, like I said, I was around when Deimos was still around, so I'm sure somebody on the second committee, well, maybe not on the second committee, but if you know your history, you know cloning wasn't exactly rare.
Nor
Or
was it
ethical.
simple fair either.
Frankly, dying's for chumps. Who needs a clone if you don't die?
Don't even get me started on the mean train, Lou.
Besides, I wouldn't want to clone myself. It'd take away from all the mystery, I think.
Plus, I'd rather have the original.
Well, you'd have to beat all your records again because it wouldn't have been you that did them.
Yeah, why would I want to put myself in that situation, right?
Again.
Look, I'm always already trying to beat my own records. Why do I need to have a poor copycat